I'm Tobias Grun. I'm a research associate at the University of Florida at the Florida Museum, and I work here in the invertebrate paleontology. I came here about 2 years ago from Germany. I did some research on echinoids, on sea urchins, mostly on irregular sea urchins and their predator-prey interactions. Officially now a biologist and a geologist, so I think the balance between both fossil and modern is very important. I worked a long time, over 10 years now, with sea urchins, with irregular sea urchins, their ecology and evolution. I was actually on a family vacation in the Canary Islands in Spain, walked around the beach. I found a lot of shells, and I was wondering what they are. So they looked like little snails, little snail shells. I was like, those look very interesting. I hope that is possible to see. And I didn't know what they are, so I just collected a few and looked at them in more detail. And I saw they have a cephalopod, they have chambers inside. So that must be a cephalopod, because no shells have, so no mollusk shells other than these have this kind of chambered. I know from my paleontological education that this is only, so these coiled, these spiraled shells are mostly known only from the fossil record and from things like from other cephalopods like Ammonites or so. And I thought it's very unlikely that I found a living Ammonite, so that cannot be the thing. And I looked more and more into literature and found that this is Spirula, so the ram's horn squid. And this guy is the only recent representative within the cephalopods that has a coiled shell. It's very few details are known about these shells or about these animals in general, even though they are so important in terms that they are the only representatives of coiled cephalopods today. These shells are used by the animal for buoyancy, so they can get more gases in and get more buoyant, they go up, or they release gases and go down. So when the animal decays, these shells, these skeletons, go up and float on the surface in the water because they are still filled with air or with gas. And very often we find that some barnacles are going on top and encrust them, so they serve as kind of an mobile island in the water. They float around and they transport these barnacles around in the environment and help them to distribute. Got some CT scans, high resolution X-ray here. So we have a 3D rendering of the skeleton here. We see the chambered shell itself here, and here the barnacles that sit on top. We see the opening that runs through the entire skeleton. We also have in the other windows slices of these that we can go through, and we are able to go through the entire skeleton and see them from different sides. So we can calculate the internal volume of the gas, and we can also do some real fancy analysis where we look not only into the shell morphology but also the thickness. So this is a model of the shell that allows us to analyze the thickness of various parts. If we understand how these shells work, how the morphology and structural integrity of the shells works in this animal, then we can go one step further, go into the fossil record and compare the fossil shells to modern shells. How did the shells changed within the last couple of million years, for example. That's a very exciting research, and I'm very happy that the Shell Club is funding this research, because it wouldn't be possible to do all this research without extensive funding. Because we got these nice 3D glasses is great for outreach and make these topics more attractive to especially also the young people. I already developed one of these educational games. We look around, there are different informational boxes presented of the shells in their different rooms. You see now exactly what I'm seeing. Now I can now grab it, look around and see the different structures inside. It's really cool. Really, I can handle it like I was standing there. And now I can just walk around. Here's a poster that I did last year on a conference. Have a really detailed look at it. Make it much more fancy. There's several different people, manufacturers that we have to thank for because they provide the funding for free software. They provide good tools that we need. The funding for can be really acknowledged here for the Sanibel-Captiva Shell Club and also for our fieldwork. So this is also designed as kind of a way to not only present scientific data to the public, but we can make also virtual conferences where participants, different players come into the game and they can stand out here, discuss, or go to the poster presentations inside. So that's a very cool way to present data. I'm very happy that you are listening and that you are interested in the things that I'm doing. Again, special thanks to the Shell Club that made all these here possible for me. And I hope that my research will have also the impact educating of people, recruiting or make it more attractive for other people, for especially younger people, so that all the shell collecting and all the knowledge and also all the fun will go into the next generation. Thanks again.